But motivation isn't real. Everyone says this. Motivation is not real. Discipline's real. I do not feel like training, but I still train because I'm a disciplined individual. You don't get to go through life only doing the things you feel like doing. As a man, you have to do the things you're supposed to do, because what we said earlier, it's player versus player. It's a disgrace to my parents who struggled to raise me for me to be anything other than the best version of myself. That's honor. I have honor to my last name and to my ancestry. It would be disgusting for them all to have fought saber-toothed tigers so I can wake my lazy ass up and ask on YouTube how I can stop being a fucking loser. And listen, you may feel fired up for 10 minutes after this little talk, but you're not going to feel fired up forever. You need to put systems in place. You need to get discipline. And like Justin says, you need to get an atmosphere of people around you who are going to keep you accountable and not make it easy for you to continue to be a fucking nobody. And then you're going to fix your life. Otherwise, you're going to stay a nobody. That's your problem. It ain't my problem. It's your problem. Trauma can mold you. Trauma can be a fantastic thing. Heartbreak, depression, sadness. These are all fantastic motivators. It takes bravery to do the right thing. Yeah. It always takes bravery to do the right thing. And it takes bravery to do anything of merit. It takes bravery to love somebody. That's bravery. It's hard to do the right thing.
The fight is coming. The shit job that you can't get out of, where you're stuck in a cubicle or you're turning a wrench or whatever you're doing all day, it's coming. Are you doing the work to do something about it before it gets there? Because if you can't walk away, then you're trapped. And then you're truly, truly suppressed.
This is exactly what you were talking about asking a question where you already know the answer to. You know the answer is to stop doing things that waste your time and apply yourself to something important. Now, this may not be a waste of your time, but let me tell you, you're a dumbass, clearly. It's like Googling how to get fit, like you just said. Everyone knows what a push-up is. Do 10,000 of them a day. Stop wasting your fucking time. You know, I've never had to deal with procrastination. I've never had to deal with not being motivated, because what is the alternative? Literally, be a loser forever?
I don't know your genetic makeup. If you were a warrior, you wouldn't be asking that question. So you're either going to become a warrior, or you need to adopt the ways of a warrior, or you need to accept your position in life, which is just to suffer the pain of being a loser forever. But if you truly work your ass off, it's difficult for it to have a negative impact on your life. My point is that it's very hard to find truly, truly negative energy that's directed in a semi-positive direction. It's hard to say, I'm working my ass off at X and it's made my life worse. You know, you're not doing anything, and you're asking the question, hoping I'm going to give you some magical answer that's going to allow you to be motivated forever. It's absolutely true. It's player versus player, my friend. Now, if I wake up, I've already got this massive head start over you in life, and nearly every genetic gift, plus all my finances, plus my network. And I wake up and I decide, even though I don't feel like working, I'm going to work my ass off. And you wake up way down there, a peon, and you can't be bothered to work. What chance do you have against men like us? You have to try harder, or you're never going to win. And what we do is we live by example, right? We're absolute winners, and we love when people win. And when you're a winner, you want others to win. There's plenty of room up here at the top, gentlemen. There's plenty of room. Yep. You need to look at our lives and be inspired by it. If you're looking at our lives and trying to find some stupid excuse why our life is bad, like seeing us surrounded by beauty queens on a yacht in Cannes, and then going, well, they're misogynist, or they must have paid them. I don't pay women. Shut the... It is possible to be happy and have a wonderful life and have everything, and there isn't something missing. You need to affirm to the universe, gentlemen. You need to wake up every day and you need to talk to the universe as if it was Alexa or Siri, and you need to say, I want to see how good life can get. I've been saying this all the time, and I thought that my life was already perfect 2 or 3 years ago, and still it keeps getting better. Oh, yeah. My life keeps getting better. Now, life isn't a straight line, right? I didn't get to the top in a straight line. I had bumps, bruises, I had setbacks. Yeah, I got cut up, I got stabbed, I had a lot of problems. But here I am at the top. Life's not a straight line. But every single day I say, I want to see how good life can get, and God keeps providing. He keeps making me richer. I retain my wealth, I retain my health, I make better friends, I have amazing relationships, I have love in my life. Everything goes well for me all of the time. I can't explain in human words how fantastic my life is. I wouldn't change a thing. And that's because I affirm it. You have to believe that perfection is possible. You can live the perfect life. You can live the absolute dream life. But your dream life ain't going to happen if you're fucking broke. You need money plus a bunch of other things.
Dreaming isn't enough.
Yeah, but money's a good place to start.
Yeah.
So you need to be living the high life, gentlemen. The high life exists. Me and Tristan are up here. We're waiting for some of you cats to get up here with us. Brutal determination and consistency is nearly impossible to beat. Same with fighting. I knew people who weren't that talented, but they were just at the gym every day. They just ran further, they just trained harder, and they just ended up being world champions. That's how it is. You cannot beat consistency. The person who does what they're supposed to do day after day, regardless of how they feel, is going to be the person who wins. The people who are going to be the most successful in the real world are the people who wake up every day and work. If you're the person who wakes up, does work, is fantastic at it, and then takes 3 days off, you're going to lose. They say that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And it's completely true. I'm going to get it and you're fucking not. I don't give a shit what happens to me in my life. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care if the worst, most heinous things I could possibly imagine happen to me. I know that my sadness, my depression will be temporary because I will never stay a loser. It is against my creed. It's not my idea. All of your minds are broken. You can't even focus on anything anymore.
You're right.
You are constantly distracted to the point where you can't even appreciate the good things in your life. You're distracted. Your minds are broken. You need to rewire your mind and resist the slave programming. If you cannot control your own mind, then you are just a feather in the wind of life. Because your own mind is the only thing you can control. You can't control the weather. You can't control people. You can't even control whether your heart stops beating. You might have a heart attack tomorrow. You can't control anything besides what you think. If you cannot control your own mind, then you go through life with zero control, zero influence. You can't control anything. You're just a feather in the wind, waiting for life to blow you from happy place to sad place to happy place to sad place. Completely hoping on the gods to be fortunate to you, because if any genuine discomfort comes your way, you're fucked. It's so easy to win if you can control your own mind. It seems that nobody fucking can. Your own father's ashamed of you, and you don't even feel fucking motivated to do shit. It's a fucking shame. If you were to go and look your father in the eye and said, you know what, I could have been a UFC champion. I could have been a multi-millionaire. I could have been a race car driver. I could have been a fucking nuclear physicist. Could have done all these things, but I was busy on Pornhub. You think he's gonna be proud of you? Fuck no. People who go, yes, I'm wasting my potential. Those are the ones who have potential. The ones who stand up and go, I am wasting my potential. I could be anything and I am not that yet. They have a chance. This is your prerogative as a man. But you need to be instilled with a sense of duty to your bloodline. You must want it. You need to want it deep inside your soul. I can't die as anything less than emperor. As a man, if you don't make yourself valuable, you have no value. There's nothing that God hates more than sloth and laziness. If God were to create a man and that man were to sit around and do fuck all, God will frown upon you. It's why you're never lucky. If you're listening to this and you think I'm never lucky, I'll tell you why, because God dislikes you because you're fucking lazy. Start to work, start to show God the beauty of his own creations. You'd be amazed how lucky you become. God is unhappy with these people. And inside their hearts, they're unhappy. We talk about depression, anxiety, all those things you mentioned really earlier on this podcast. You loathe your own weakness. You loathe your own laziness. This is what all of these things are. I don't feel depression. How can I feel depression when I'm the most powerful version of me that I could ever fucking be? Most men are walking through life and they don't realize that it's constant competition. Every single pound they want, someone else wants. Every single girl they want, someone else wants. And they're just sitting there just fucking floundering and wandering through life, unaware of how competitive the world is. And this is my point. If the world is truly that competitive, you do not have time to be depressed because it's a non-competitive mind state. You could be depressed for X, Y, Z, whatever. I'm not depressed. And I want the money you want, and I want the girl you want, and I want the status you want, and the car you want, and the house you want. I first made my millions of dollars. The first time I ever became a millionaire was with Webcam Studio.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is how I first ever made money. I mean, I was a kickboxing world champion, but kickboxing's not boxing, right?
Yeah.
So I'd make like $100,000 a fight. You fight 2 or 3 times a year. You pay 20% to your manager. You pay taxes, but you're not rich.
So you get like 30 to 40% of the money.
Yeah, and I didn't consider myself rich. Like 30, 40 grand chunks, twice a year, maybe 3 times a year. Living in London. London rents, need a car. You're trying, you're not rich in any way. And that's actually the reason I retired, because I woke up one day and I thought, I'm giving 6 hours a day of absolute focus and energy to this. And I believe I'm smart enough that if I put that much tenacity into something else, I can be a multimillionaire. I truly believed that. I was like, I've realized now I've reached the pinnacle of kickboxing. My choice is either to change over to MMA, which I was offered to do earlier in my career, but at the time, the kickboxing contract paid more money. I had to pay the bills, so I went kickboxing. Change over to MMA, learn to wrestle, change over to UFC, blah, blah, blah. But this is also like 7, 8 years ago where even the UFC didn't pay the money it pays now.
But the UFC still doesn't pay that much money from what I understand.
No, if you're like top 5 or champion, yeah. But most of the dudes you're gonna see there in the prelims, they're getting 10 grand a fight, 9 grand a fight. It's nothing, right? So it'd be like starting my career all over again. And at the age of 28, I thought, I don't have the gumption to start again. I've been through hell for this. I've broken my hand 8 times. My ribs have been broken. I don't want to do this all over again. So
what do you do when you realize that, hey, maybe I don't want to keep fighting?
I decided to get rich.